This is a story by Robert Service, and it was written about 110 years ago. And it's all about the men who tried to make their fortune by going up to the Yukon during the gold rush. And this is a story called The Cremation of Sam McGee. And it goes like this. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by men who moil for gold. The Arctic Trail has seen strange tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but that land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his down-home way that he'd sooner live in hell. Now, on Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold. Through the parka's fold, it would stab like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then our lashes froze, until sometimes we couldn't see. Oh, it wasn't much fun. But the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low I couldn't say no. Then he said with a sort of moan, "It's this cursed cold, and it's got right hold, till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet it ain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." Now, a pal's last need is a thing to heed. So I promised I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched in the sleigh and he raved all day for his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Oh, there wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true. Now it's up to you to cremate my last remains." And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. Oh, the trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw in a trice it was called called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought of it. Then I looked at my frozen chum, then, "Here," said I with a sudden cry, "is my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher. The flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the huskies howled, and the heavens scowled, and the wind began to blow. Oh, I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear. But the stars came out and danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, "I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked." And it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, "Please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have seen strange tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge, when I cremated Sam McGee.